Very excited about this. After much thought and prayer, I am thrilled to announce that the Board of Elders and Deacons has decided to open up our worship service to public gatherings, public meetings once again, beginning next Sunday, May the 17th. And so yay, after all of these weeks, after 2 months of being apart and isolated, we believe it is time to gather together once again, and we are very excited. Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 and 25 is a very clear command from the Lord about our responsibility as his people to meet together for worship, for instruction, and for edification. It says, "And let us consider how to stimulate one another to love and good deeds, not forsaking our own assembling together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near." And we believe that after 2 months apart, now is the appropriate time to join together in corporate worship. We have given thorough consideration to federal and state guidelines for churches. They have specific guidelines for churches about this, and we'll be taking appropriate steps for cleanliness and safety for all involved. To meet those safety thresholds, several things. We will be arranging the sanctuary in such a way that provides for a full 6 feet of safe distancing. We will have families or households sit together and have proper distancing between them and other families or other individuals. We will also have overflow seating in the fellowship hall to accommodate more people and to allow for proper space. We will also be wearing masks, at least for now. We recognize that this may be awkward, but we feel it is a necessary step to help facilitate congregating together safely. So please bring your mask with you to church. If you don't have one, we will have some new masks that we'll make available for you to use. Common surfaces, door handles, countertops, other contact areas will be sanitized. Also, we will not be handing out bulletins or flyers or other items by hand here at the church. We will not be passing those materials between one another. And as difficult as this might be for our very loving church family, which we are, we will also need to refrain for the time being from shaking hands and hugging one another. That time will come soon enough, but let's go the extra mile in honoring safeguards to keep each other safe. Also this coming Sunday, we will be having adult Sunday school classes. They will begin to re-meet, as well as our junior high and high school class at the regular 9:30 a.m. starting time. In each of these classes, we will be adhering to the 6-foot social distancing guideline, and we will be having class attendees also wear masks. For at least the first Sunday, perhaps longer, we'll see, taking it week by week, we will not be having children's Sunday school classes or the nursery or toddler rooms being available. They will not be. We will also not be offering children's church quite yet. As an added precaution, we strongly encourage our elderly folks to remain home at this time and continue watching the worship service by live stream. And if you're sick or have compromised health or underlying health issues, please likewise remain at home. We very much want you to be worshiping with us, of course, but we want to be wise and guarded concerning your health and the health of others. So let me address an important biblical principle as we begin to meet together once again. It's from Romans chapter 12, verse 10. That verse says, "Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Give preference to one another in honor." This may come as no surprise to you, but the folks of CBC have had quite different responses to the coronavirus and the subsequent lockdown. We tend to be an opinionated bunch. Some think that we should never have stopped our public worship services. Others think that we're crazy for starting them back up so soon. And then there are folks everywhere in between on that spectrum. What I truly believe is there's no right or wrong answer or right or wrong position on this. I trust each of you to seek the Lord and to do what's best for your family as God guides you. But your journey through this crisis may be quite different from the journey of somebody else in our church body. And that's totally okay. The last time that I checked, the list of names of people who have gone through a worldwide pandemic with a government-instituted lockdown and an ensuing economic collapse would be 0. Nobody alive today has experienced anything quite like this. This is new for all of us. So none of us gets to claim the mantle of expert or I have experience with this, I know what I'm doing. No, we don't. This is the first time for all of us, and we're all trying to adjust and respond to very difficult circumstances. What I find is that people are genuinely doing their best and trying to be responsible to make decisions for their families. And while those decisions might be different than my choices or different than your choices for your family, they are seeking God's guidance and direction in caring for their loved ones. And that means that according to the scriptures, each of us is called to love and respect and honor one another, even if someone chooses to go through this crisis differently than you and me. In other words, grace abounds. The grace that God has extended to us, we are called to extend to others. Give preference to one another in honor. Practically, what that means as we begin to gather together publicly once again is some people will show up at church next Sunday, and some people would choose to stay home. And that's totally okay. Each person and each family will make their own decision before the Lord. For those that attend, we're having you wear masks. We recognize that some folks won't like it, while others will be deeply grateful for you wearing one. They will appreciate that you care enough about them to help them feel safe. It's a way to show our love for our neighbor. Some may choose to hang around and visit after the service is over. Others may leave immediately afterwards. We want to be sure to welcome those differences with grace and kindness, never judging someone else, not thinking somebody else is doing something wrong in all of this, but extending to one another the respect and dignity that we would like for them to extend to us. So next Sunday, the worship service for Community Bible Church will be open to the public once again as we gather here for corporate worship in our sanctuary. I sincerely hope that you come. If you don't feel comfortable in coming, I hope that you will continue to watch our live stream of the worship service, which we will continue to provide. And you can do that for as long as you want until you are comfortable with publicly gathering together once again. Either way, we love you very much, and together in unity, we will exalt the Lord Jesus Christ, who is head of the church. Thank you.